Our big story tonight, take your welfare somewhere else. That's the message literally spelled out at a Yakima convenience store. But is it legal? We started looking into it when a viewer contacted us. She told us she's been to many places using her food stamps EBT card, and she knows not every business accepts it, but when she saw this sign at Coco's convenience store, she wasn't just denied service, she was offended.
I don't like it, and I'm sure there's others out there that don't like it either. I feel insulted, you know, and I wouldn't come here. I wouldn't spend my money here.
They get upset with my clerks. I don't feel that my clerks should be subject to being yelled at, thrown things at, because we don't take EBT. Candy shouldn't be bought, chips shouldn't be bought, pop shouldn't be bought. You know, that's just our feeling.
As we uncovered, under state law, stores do have the right to opt out of taking EBT cards. They also have the right to say what they want, no matter how offensive it may be. Plus, the store owner is encouraged by customers who like the sign. She says there are more of them than the people who are offended by it, so any loss of business is worth getting her point across. Paying city sewer service without being hooked up, that's what a Pasco man claims after months of pipe backups and even a yard filled with sewage. Action News reporter Holly Zuluaga shows us why he believes his sewer line was never connected to the city.
A clogged sewer line has made quite a mess for Omar Lopez Samayoy and his family. At one point, sewage was backing up here and into the yard.
I had children. We had to use the toilet. We had to go somewhere else. You know, we take a shower very carefully at that time and trying not to, you know, it has been very health-wise. It was a hazard because it was everything backing up into the ground, into the swimming pool.
The problems continued for 6 months until Omar dug under the road and discovered something very upsetting. This is video he took of contractors digging to find the problem on Friday.
I have never been hooked to the city line because the line was a dead line. It was never hooked under the road to the main line.
The problem started back in October when Omar bought this house and hired a contractor to hook him up to the city's line. Omar says the city told the contractor where to hook up.
From day one, I noticed that there was problem flowing of the water of the house. It was very slow until one day I find out that there was some smell that I did not like.
Omar called the city. He says they told him it was his responsibility, so he hired a plumber to find the plug. But the plumber couldn't get through to the city's line. Omar says he called the city again and learned the problem wasn't with the city's line. That's when he says he dug around and found he wasn't hooked up to the city service.
I was shocked.
Now Omar isn't just upset about the mess and the hassle. He says he's also not happy about paying for sewer and not getting it. Instead, spending over $10,000 trying to fix the problem. I tried to call the city on Friday to find out their side of the story, but never heard back. Action News will follow up to see who is responsible. Omar says he is now connected to the city's main line and everything is working. In Pasco, Holly Zuluaga, Action News.
Omar says the pipe he was hooked to was cracked and filled with dirt. And on a similar subject, we've done lots and lots of stories about some of your frustrations with KID water outages and service. Well, coming up in the week ahead, we'll be able to bring you answers to some of your questions. KID will sit down with Action News. We're asking you to tweet, Facebook, or email us some questions. Also, we didn't want you to be caught off guard by the closing of the Valley Mall Boulevard off-ramp on Monday. In our follow-up, we learned it will not reopen until next year. Plus, some reminders of the election Tuesday for West Richland's EMS levy, Prescott, and also Dixie. And continuing coverage of this weekend's Spring Barrel, we didn't just want to focus on the fun, we also wanted to find out if people were being responsible. Based on what Washington State Patrol told us, it seems they are. Even with all of the drinking, they say they didn't arrest one person for DUI last night. In fact, they say it's a rather slow weekend because of extra patrols. The people we talked to today at the event say they've noticed all the extra precautions and the good behavior.
It's not really hard to be the designated driver. It's a fun event for me too, and we're picking up some wine here and there at the different wineries, and when we get home I get to try it.
The event wrapped up today, and most wineries we spoke to say they didn't have any problems with really drunk people. On the flip side, in the Tri-Cities this weekend, a routine traffic stop lands cops a pound of pot. Franklin County Sheriff's Department say that they stopped a guy driving on Highway 17 near Othello. They thought he was possibly high, so they searched the car. That's when they say they found that pound of pot. And in Richland this morning, a man arrested at a Motel 6 after what appears to be a struggle for a gun. Police say the suspect and victim struggled for the handgun and that the victim was able to take the gun away from the suspect. Cody Hopkins was later booked into the Benton County Jail on charges. Several police agencies responded to the scene after reports of a disturbance involving a gun.